The scary things in the Book of Revelations. According to the Book of Revelation, the end of days will begin its descent upon humankind after a massive earthquake has moved all islands and mountains and reduced humanity to hiding in caves. 7 angels will then sound trumpets, each of which will basically raise all sorts of literal hell. First, hail and fire will rain down on the earth, burning up trees and grass with it. Following, a burning mountain will crumble into the sea, turning sea animals into blood and destroying much of the sea life and ships. Then, a star named Wormwood will fall from the sky, poisoning 1/3 of all rivers and water. The 4th trumpet will strike out light from the sun and stars, and an eagle will cry out warning of the trumpet blasts yet to come. The 5th trumpet is considered one of the worst. It signals a falling star that brings a plague of evil locusts to torment non-believers. The 6th trumpet will release 4 angels who themselves will release 200 million horsemen to kill 1/3 of mankind with plagues of fire, smoke, and sulfur from their mouths. Their horses have the heads of lions and tails of snakes, and they also help destroy humanity. Finally, the 7th trumpet leads into what makes the previous damage look like child's play: the 7 bowls. After the 7 trumpets, 7 bowls will be more final in nature. There will be no recovering from the terrifying things to come. When angels pour 7 bowls or vials on the earth, they won't be the offerings they appeared to be. Instead, they will be filled with plagues that destroy pretty much anything and anyone left after the first round of trumpet chaos. They will include oozing sores affecting those with the mark of the beast. The seas and remaining rivers will turn into blood, killing all sea life, combined with a massive heat wave that will scorch the earth and cause people to combust on the spot. Next comes darkness and the Euphrates River drying up to allow kings of the world to cross and meet for battle. Finally, the last bowl brings another massive earthquake, and we read in the book. Then there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, and a severe earthquake. No earthquake like it has ever occurred since mankind has been on earth. So tremendous was the quake. The great city split into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations collapsed. God remembered Babylon the Great, and gave her the cup filled with the wine of the fury of his wrath. After earth is scorched down by the heavens, the whore of Babylon will ride in upon a scarlet beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. She will be drunk off of the blood of saints and martyrs. The angel reviews to the prophet that the 7 heads represent 7 hills upon which kings sit, and the 10 horns represent 10 more kings to come. He goes on to explain these kings will wage war against God, but they will not prevail. On the sounding of the 5th trumpet, an angel with the key to the abyss will fall to earth. When the abyss is opened, it will billow out enough smoke to blacken the sun and release a horde of locusts. The book states that the locusts looked like horses prepared for battle. On their heads, they wore something like crowns of gold, and their faces resembled human faces. Their hair was like women's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth. They aren't allowed to harm the earth, but they are instructed to torture people who don't have the sign of God on their foreheads for a quick 5 months. The Book of Revelation reviews a scroll that has 7 seals. As each seal is broken, something happens or appears, and at the 6th seal, things start to get scarier. As written in Revelations chapter 6, verses 12 to 17, there will be a great earthquake. The sun turned black like sackcloth made of goat hair, the whole moon turned blood red, and the stars in the sky fell to earth. The heavens receded like a scroll being rolled up, and every mountain and island was removed from its place. When the 7th seal gets broken, the heavens will go silent for half an hour, and then come to the fateful trumpets. Initially, there will be a beast that comes out of the sea to spread damnation, but it is this second that will spring from the land and demonstrate enough power to really frighten people into submission. This second beast with 2 horns like a lamb, but it speaks with the voice of a dragon. It is this beast that is considered the false prophet. he will order all people to worship the first beast from the sea, which will have been wounded after it emerges. As this wound heals, the second land beast will control mankind and force everyone to take what is known as the mark of the beast, that is, the number 666. The book of Revelation can be a daunting read for many people. The vivid imagery and prophetic language can be unsettling, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed or scared about the events described in its pages. But there's no need to be afraid. In fact, there are several reasons why we can approach the book of Revelation with confidence and hope. First, it's important to remember that the book of Revelation was written to encourage and comfort believers, not to scare them. It was written during a time of persecution when the early church was facing intense persecution and hardship. Revelation was meant to remind them that God is in control and that ultimately His will would be done. Second, we can find comfort in the fact that the events described in Revelation are not random or chaotic. They are part of God's plan for the world, and they are meant to bring about His ultimate purposes. This doesn't mean that we won't experience hardship or suffering, but it does mean that we can trust in God's sovereignty and His goodness, even in the midst of difficult circumstances. Third, we can find hope in the fact that the book of Revelation ultimately points to the triumph of Jesus Christ. The book describes a final battle between good and evil, and ultimately, Jesus emerges victorious. This means that no matter what happens in the world around us, we can be confident in the fact that Jesus has already won the ultimate victory. So if you're feeling scared or overwhelmed by the book of Revelation, remember these three things. First, it was written to encourage and comfort believers, not to scare them. Second, the events described in Revelation are part of God's plan and are ultimately meant to bring about His purposes. And third, the book ultimately points to the triumph of Jesus Christ, giving us hope and confidence in the midst of difficult circumstances. With these truths in mind, we can approach the book of Revelation with faith and courage, knowing that God is with us every step of the way.
Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing and sharing with your loved ones.